Hi, this is Dr. Fred DePiro. This video is about CATE, the Circuit Analysis Tool for Education. It's a free tool located at yourlearningcoach.com. The learning objectives that are available cover most that are typical in a circuits course. You can see them here and you can select them using this menu: Thevenin, frequency response, down to the basics of series parallel combinations and so forth. You can also select a difficulty level, as you see here. 1 is easier, 5 is harder for both AC and DC, and in levels 1, 2, and 3, the numbers for the circuit are automatically selected to give relatively nice values for the currents. When you click Begin, the system will generate a circuit randomly, and you'll see something like this. Then, having these, you see these navigation buttons up at the top. You can click New to generate a new circuit. You can select the number of sources that'll be in that circuit here. And then Next and Previous take you through the analysis. So here you see KVL on mesh number 1 as part of a mesh analysis. You click on through, and it's going to show you these equations that are developed step by step. Here is one KVL involving just voltages, here in the IR form, and here specific numeric coefficients are introduced. Those equations are simplified and solved simultaneously, and the answer is reported to you. You can also click this Explore button, and for example here, it'll show you all the different currents and voltages through the circuit. This would be typical of like a SPICE analysis. And you can see the numbers are fairly nice. 1 amp here, 2 amps here, 0.75 that way, 3 amps through the source, and so forth. So what you're seeing here is a mode that's referred to as passive mode, passive learning mode, and it's intended to help clarify an overall methodology that's associated with an analysis technique. Now you can pick other modes for your learning by clicking on this button. For example, you could switch to what we call assisted learning, and that's intended to help you further develop some of your abilities, particularly those associated with forming the KVL and KCL equations. If you select assisted learning, you'll see something like this in the various steps of the analysis. Here is a KVL equation that's being formed. You're given a set of symbols down here. You click on these symbols in order to form your equation, which you can see repeated here. Meanwhile, there are some hints that are given. It says here your equation has some unknowns present, but right now is missing an equal sign. Also some poorly formed terms. Let's see. Coming around here, we have R9, and R9 would be times, what, I1 minus I2, like that. And then we would add to that plus, that is R10 times I1 minus I2, and then that equals 0. And there you go, all terms are correct. So once again, assisted mode helps you with some of the more challenging steps to further develop your abilities. Now, if you think you've got a particular technique down, thanks to this kind of practice, you can verify your abilities by selecting active learning. If you do that, this CATE system will generate many example problems for you for that particular circuit that you're working on. Here's a circuit, and it's this problem saying what's mesh current I1, mesh current I2, this voltage here V2, and so forth. There's 20-some problems associated with this particular circuit that was generated. You can go in here, put in a number. I don't know what it happens to be here. I'll just say 3. Incorrect. Okay. Now there are no grading consequences for your course associated with this practice. You can noodle on it, work on it, put in another possible answer. It'll tell you if you got the value right or wrong without any consequence to your course grade. Now, if you think you're doing well with this and you're ready to go back and try other things, then you can close this window. You go back to that original circuit. If you wanted to see more details associated with that very same circuit, like if you weren't able to answer some some of the questions, you can just go right through that analysis and see all the details in either assisted learning mode or regular passive mode. Now, after that, if you would like to perhaps see that circuit analyzed using a different method, this is mesh, perhaps you've had enough of that and you're curious, perhaps you learned nodal analysis previously and you want to see how this compares, having a little trouble with mesh, you want to build from what you knew previously, you can do that. Halt. This is a scaffolding step. You can restart the analysis either with the same method of analysis or with another, for example, nodal. And we'll go back into it. Here's that same circuit, and this will take us through it using nodal analysis. Again, you see the assisted learning mode that can help you develop those KCL equations in this case. Okay, so the point of active learning is to help you verify your abilities. Now, once again, in summary, CATE generates many circuits, millions of different circuit topologies randomly, and it addresses a lot of different learning objectives that are common in introductory circuits courses for both AC and DC circuits. It'll solve these circuits as you would, as a student would, mimicking that process, developing equations, mesh, nodal, or solving by equivalent circuits. The assisted learning mode helps you develop your abilities, and the active learning mode helps you verify your abilities. And this ability to switch back and forth between different styles of analysis while still looking at the same circuit helps you build on prior abilities as you learn new methods. Once again, this is Dr. Fred DePiero. Thank you for your interest in CATE, and I hope you find it useful in your learning.